Hello and welcome back to the railway. We're just going to bring the Winston Churchill and the Southern coaches through the crossover here, and then we're going to get it back into the station so we can have a look at the R.152 Diesel Shunter. We'll just close the crossover there and then open points 11 into the station, and then we'll take her back in nice and gently. The Winston Churchill was model number R.356 and was available from 1961 to 69, and the Southern coaches were available between 57 and 62. So we'll close number 11 there. Now we'll open 18 and then switch 17, and then we'll rotate the turntable counterclockwise. And there's the R.152 waiting to move up onto the turntable. And off she goes. Quite a smooth run of this model. And then we'll rotate clockwise, and then we'll bring her gently off and across the points. Nice and smooth. And then we'll bring her up to a gentle stop, and then we'll close number 18. And now we'll move off backwards, and we'll go and collect the brick wagons from the passing loop. Brilliant shot coming through there. I really love these long shots. Past the engine sheds there, approaching the gasometer and up to the station, and we'll bring her to a stop just about here, and then we'll open points number 9, the double crossover, onto the passing loop, smoothly through there, and then we'll close those behind her. The Diesel Shunter first arrived in 1956 when she was black in colour, and she remained this way till 1958. In 1959 she became green in colour, as we see her here today. In 1969, she changed to BR Blue and remained that way till 1973, just making it into the Hornby Railways period. In 1957, a black clockwork variant was available through to 1959, and that was model number R.154. In 1959, the clockwork variant became maroon in colour, and its R number changed to 256, and it remained in the catalogue till 1962 as part of the primary series. In its various forms, the Diesel Shunter over the years had a variety of running numbers. The maroon clockwork version had no running number. Now moving through points 1 and 2 there, into the siding. Now we're going to use the Uncoupling Ramp, R.488, available 62 to 72. Gentle stop, and off she goes backwards, leaving the brick wagons. And we'll bring her to a stop there, and we'll change points 2 and 3, and then we'll move forwards and we'll pick up these cattle wagons smoothly over the points. I think we have those now, and then we'll take her out again beyond the points, and then we'll come back in and we'll get the Western Region brake van there on the left. So we'll switch points 3, and then we'll move back in and get the brake van. Gently in, all the way up. Nice smooth coupling there. And then off we go. Bit rickety, all of these wagons. And then we'll close points 1 behind them. Coming noisily past the engine sheds there, approaching the crossover. Gently through. They are a little bit wobbly, making a lovely echoey noise, and we'll close those behind her, off into the distance, and we'll bring them round under the incline section here to a gentle stop, and then we'll have a closer look at them. Now we'll just get her uncoupled, and then we'll lift her off and we'll get her on the bench and we'll have a closer look. It's a very simple model this, but it's covered in detail. Even the buffer beam has some riveting and a hook moulded into the centre of it there. Standard metal buffers just pushed into the plastic body moulding, and a decoupling here. We've got vents right up the front of the bonnet here, and we've got steps at both ends of the locomotive and ladders from the footplate right up to the top of the bonnet. And we've got the exhaust vent here. We've got lots of hatches and vents along the sides and possibly a tool chest here. A lovely oval plate here with rivets all the way around. We have a running number of 13005. We've got handrails down both sides of the doors, Oh, we've got a couple of windows in the side here and a lovely little one moulded into the front of the cab there. Looking at the wheels, they seem to be solid wheels, and we've got unfluted coupling rods. And now looking from the opposite side, again we've got a light amount of detail on the buffer beam, a little bit of riveting and a hook in the centre. Again, the standard triangle metal buffers just poked in here and the decoupling. We've got a couple of windows in the back, and we've got a number of bits of detail in here, some of which may be lamps on the bottom here. Again, we've got handrails on both sides of the door, possibly a door handle here as well. There's a slight bit of wear to the running number on this side of the locomotive. And moving further along here, we have an extra piece of moulding here. I believe this is where the key went for the clockwork version of the model. And looking further along, it's just wonderful detail. All these panels have got rivets and limes, and it extends over the bonnet here. And again, looking from above, we're not short of detail on the cab roof here. It really is quite nice. Moving along the top of the bonnet here, you can see all these panels picked out in the moulding. And again, back to the exhaust vent there, it is quite pretty. Looking at the front now, we can see these holes here where the chassis pokes through the body moulding. Looking a bit further above, we've probably got lights here, and again, pipework moulded around this vent here. It really is quite nice. Looking at the back of the cab here, we can see lots of rivets running under the window and up this plate between the windows and across the roof line there. And again, I think these must be lights, and again there is some quite fine pipework moulded into it here, and we've got this excellent large locating screw here to hold the chassis onto the body. Looking from underneath now, we can see the couplings are held on with a flathead screw at both ends of the chassis here. And here we have those solid drive wheels. These tend to get dirty very, very quickly. Let's just rotate that over a little so we can see the sides of the wheels and the backs together, and then we can see the pickup wipers here. And we've got the drive cog which goes on up to the X04 motor, which we can just see in there. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And again, we've got the plain coupling rods just held on with a single screw there onto the centre drive wheel. And I've just undone the screw there, and we'll just put that down, keep that safe there, and then we'll just lift off the body moulding. So it's just hooked on to the front of the chassis and then screw through the back of the moulding. It just lifts off, and we'll put that to one side. And here we can see the chassis. It really exposes these drive wheels quite nicely. We've got the X04 motor here. And if we just turn it over a little, we can see that this is an earlier chassis. It's made with two plates and they're screwed together. Let me turn that all the way over, and you can see the weights between the two chassis plates there, and we can see the screws holding the chassis together here and here. And we'll just pop that back on the track. There we go. Looking on the inside of the body here, we can see where the two pins on the chassis poke through the body moulding, and then the securing screw goes through the back to hold the chassis in. And looking inside, we can see that great lump there. That's where it must have come off the moulding, and it says Triang there, although we've got that upside down, and it says Made in England. We'll just have a look at this great lift-off lid box here. On the end, on the sticky label, we've got R.152 060 Diesel Shunter green livery. It's seen better days, I think, this box, but it's really nice to have it. We'll just take off the lid and have a quick look inside. So here we just have a cardboard interior, and the locomotive would sit safely in there, and I suspect that should have had packing rings. Also the instructions I don't have for this model. I think we'll get the model back together, and then we'll have a look at the wagons. Here we've got the cattle wagon, model number R122. She was available from 55 to 72, and this one's on a metal chassis. We've got the buffers which are part of that metal chassis, and the standard decouplings are just riveted on. Plenty of planking detail and rivets on the end here, and this hole is just to help keep the roof clipped on. Roof detail is very minimal though. Plenty of detail along the sides here, lovely straps and riveting along here. We've got a running number of M3713 here. So if we roll along and have a look at the reddier brown one, we'll just move that along. There we go. And if we notice the running number is slightly different, we've got M3 712. It's also printed slightly off centre. Also, if we look closely, the underframe detail of the chassis here is a slightly different moulding. We've got an extra brake shoe here, and the brake handle is a slightly different shape. Here we've got the Western Region brake van R.154, available from 1955 to 70. Lots and lots of detail down the sides of it here, and we've got some great windows on the end, and there's a chimney on the roof here. We have a running number of W6297. The underframe detail is all one moulding. Earlier models had a separate tin plate running boards just clipped onto the edges here. Again, we've got open axle boxes, so we've got sleeved wheels, standard decouplings. I think we'll have a look from the other end now. And looking from the other end of the brake van here, and we can see the detail extends around the back quite nicely, and we've got what must be a brake handle here, and we've got interior detail of a couple of windows and a door in there. It really is quite a nice little thing. Now just a swift look at these boxes. Here's R122 cattle wagon. In brackets it says long wheelbase. That's quite difficult to pick out. The box is a little bit on the tired side now. This box is in much nicer condition. R124 WR brake van. Now I think we'll get this lot off for another run. So away she goes nice and smoothly there. I think this model comes from 1959 to 1960. Given that she has the plain coupling rods, the solid wheels, the running number, and that chassis held together by screws. The later chassis was a solid one-piece casting and also had knob adhesion. So perhaps not the most glamorous of models, these three from Triang, but they did remain in the catalogue for a long time. The wagons seem to have been available in different shades of plastic over the years, as well as changes to the running number, which also makes these things interesting. The locomotive, as we've seen, was available in a number of liveries throughout its life. Now I think we'd better have a look at page 4 of the 1959 catalogue, the first year she was in this green livery. Thank you again very much for watching, and please do have a look again next week, where we'll have something else from this early Triang Railways period. Goodbye now.